What's up, everybody? So today I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about some psychology, some kind of mental aspects to keep in mind when you are trying to trade. And the main point that I want to get across is you have to develop an appreciation for markets before you can actually come into markets, understand markets, and yield some sort of reward as a result. You have to appreciate the fact that you have the ability to log into not even just your computer, but your mobile phone, press a green or a red button, and print money, right? If you're watching this video right now, I don't care what your net worth is. I don't care where you live. I don't care about any of that, how old you are. None of that matters, right? If you're watching this video, you have the ability to just simply press a button and make money. It's that easy, right? You don't have to go to the New York Stock Exchange and sit there in a line in a crowd and shout at some stockbroker to finally take your order. No, no, no. It's not like that. It is the luxury of all you have to do is press buttons. That's it, right? So oftentimes we take that luxury for granted, but we also abuse that luxury. So what I mean is, let me give you an example. Is when all my retail normie friends, so people who don't know anything about stocks or crypto or anything, right? They always ask me, "Hey, what do you use to invest?" And I'll just tell them Robinhood, right? I love Robinhood. I don't really use it all too much, but I love it. I mean, it's extremely convenient. It's very clean. It's user friendly, right? The user interface is very clean. It's very simple, and it's extremely convenient. Right? You can download Robinhood on your phone. It's there's no trading fees, although they're hidden. Right? That's how they get you. Um, but the problem with Robinhood is that it's too convenient, right? Or the person's problem when they go to download Robinhood and they go to actually begin investing or trading, uh, it's too convenient. The fact that you can buy something and then check it every 5 minutes of every single day for the rest of the year, right? And you can capitulate your entire portfolio and you can, start from scratch a whole new portfolio within 2 seconds, right? That is scary. And too often that tends to be people's like downfall, right? It's a double-edged sword. It's too convenient. You tend to step in front of your own success more times than not. And this is especially true given the current context of this market, right? A lot of people would have been better off just simply doing nothing sometime within the past 7 or 8 months. Obviously, not everyone is as experienced or doesn't really have a system at that point. But at some point during this downtrend, you should be able to acknowledge the fact that we are downtrending, right? And we are heading to this bottom right corner. Do you know who the greatest investors are? It's not Warren Buffett. It's not, Peter Lynch, right? It's not Bill Gates. It's not any of those guys. The best investors are the labor, right? The labor sort of people who contribute to the economy, just sort of regular people, right? Every single day, just people working their 9 to 5. And let me give you another example. I used to work at a hospital. My hospital employed, I want to say, somewhere around 20,000 people. If you imagine all the roles, right, all the different roles in a hospital, and consider the fact that every single person at that hospital, especially if you live in America, you're pretty familiar with this concept, is they have like a 401k or a 403b, something that they're continuously contributing to every single paycheck, and they might not even realize that they're doing that. They're slowly investing into these asset classes that are performing well over the course of time, right? Time is the factor there. The price doesn't really matter because they're investing. So their factor, their main variable is time. The idea is if you invest here, right? It doesn't really matter whether you got in at the bottom or this top because the more time that goes on, the more likely you are to be in profit, right? So those investors, and those are the greatest investors, they make up for, a large portion of the working class of just the way that America works, right? If you think about every single kind of role at a hospital, you have physicians, you have doctors, you have pharmacists, you have nurses, right? All those people are making a decent wage, prior to 9% inflation, and they're putting a chunk of their paycheck into something that is performing well over time. And they are out trading you. Just think about that for a second. Pharmacists don't know shit about stocks, right? Just, very generally. Nurses don't know shit about stocks. When I was working, I would hear them talk about Dogecoin and whatever else, Shiba Coin, Safe Moon, Elon Moon, whatever. Right during that peak kind of thing. Which, by the way, I contributed to some hospitals on the weekends so that I could help with the whole COVID situation because they were in dire need for help if anyone's wondering. But uh, that's kind of the point, right? They don't know shit about any of that stuff, and yet, if your performance over the course of, say, let's just say the past 2 or 3 years is anything less than, let's say, 60%, right? Because current price, we'll say 30%. If your performance is anything less than 30% gain, you got out traded. You got out traded by someone who doesn't even know what the fuck they're doing. Just think about that for a second, right? And I'm not starting from the COVID drop. I'm starting from this bulk of price action because they would have been just continuously kind of dollar cost averaging over the course of time, right? At around these prices. And here they are, they'd be up massively, and they don't even understand. They might not even understand what is happening when they allocate into a 401k or a 403b or whatever it may be, right? You got out traded. It takes a lot of humility to acknowledge the fact that sometimes you would be better off doing absolutely nothing at all. And this applies here and now just as much as it has for the past 7 or 8 months, but the opposite direction, right? A lot of people would have been much better off not trying to call tops, not trying to catch the bottom on leverage, right? And just kind of allocating and doing nothing. Just totally fucking off, right? Go do something else, and come back later when something occurs to trigger some sort of warning, right? Red flags, whatever. For me, that was breaking down below 4 hour 200 moving averages back here, and then forming a range, and then breaking down below that range. And the same kind of gist over here. We broke down below 4 hour 200 moving averages. That was my red flag. That was my warning. Ever since then, I've mostly just kind of fucked off. Very much enjoyed the past 7 or 8 months. And from here, I'm in a very comfortable situation where, regardless of what happens, right, whether we continue upwards, go sideways for the rest of forever, or continue downwards, I'm in a position where I get to take advantage of the opportunity and potentially benefit from it regardless. That should be the kind of strive at the end of the day. Is I want to be as lazy of a piece of shit as possible and not drain myself using the markets, like trading the 5 minute or whatever, right? Know when to fuck off, acknowledge that sort of humility that it takes to realize and come to terms with the fact that a lot of times you are better off just kind of fucking off and doing something else. And then opportunity will arise. And when it does arise, it's not only just going to look at you and stare at you, it's going to smack you in the face. Maybe this is the opportunity. Truthfully, I'm not all too sure, right? I don't have an analysis for you on Bitcoin. I did draw some squiggly lines. I guess I could, I don't know, maybe try and find that. I posted it on Twitter. I drew some squiggly lines and it looked very similar to what is happening right now. And the remainder kind of looks something like this. So maybe we continue bouncing. Truthfully, I'm not too sure. There is kind of this like resistance in this zone. So watch out for that. But really, I don't care about any of this low time frame price action because none of it really interests me. Right. So far we bounced what 14%. How do I know that that's any different than that 14% bounce or the bounce over here or any of the bounces prior to that? Right. And I don't know. I don't know that it's different. So I can't confidently say that it even will be, somewhat different. I just drew some fucking squiggly lines and it's just so happens to be quote unquote alpha because it's kind of playing out very similar to what I drew. So I don't really know what the hell is going on here, but truthfully, I don't care, right? Because either way, I win. And that's the point at the end of the day. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, a little bit of a rant, maybe tweak somebody's mindsets. This is like crypto therapy, hopefully, for you guys. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Please use my Bybit referral link so that I can maybe eat some more avocado toast. Donate to me because I want to move out of my grandma's basement and all that good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, all the usual YouTube influencer bullshit. Love you guys. Take it easy.